All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course, I appreciate it. I've talked to your coach for uh, quite some time, I guess. Is an avid supporter of the channel and speaks very highly of the team overall. And you specifically as well. He was like very adamant that you come on, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, totally. And then obviously, kind of like doing some research and learning a little bit about you just on the running side of things. A very interesting career so far, and really exciting to be looking at like coming forward to kind of wrap everything up. Um, but yeah, but so I guess most people would honestly just know you as maybe a runner from the outside looking in. Do you have any hobbies like outside of running that you enjoy?
Not really. I do a job instead during the week instead.
And what's that job?
I'm a barista at a
Oh,
company.
really?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds pretty fun. Do you have like a favorite like drink or order to do or anything?
I would say like an iced vanilla latte is my favorite with like honey. But we don't offer
Nice,
that. I just make that.
nice. So then how'd you get started into running?
My cousin and my brother did it, so they always told me to run, and I decided to do it to make high school friends.
There you go. I'm actually telling my daughter that she she used to run in like I don't even know, like sixth grade, fifth grade is when we were doing it, and she stopped for a while, and then I was just like, no, you have to do it. It's like you get the opportunity to make so many new friends and whatnot, and the bonding experiences and everything. I'm like, it's totally worth it. Um, but yeah, let's talk about cross country. Talk about cross country last season. Um, in particular, what something I found that was like that's really interesting is that you went sub 20 four times in 2023, and you went sub 20 eight times in 2024. That is like a huge level of consistency to kind of really dip down to. And then obviously the PR of 1848 um, from that 1923. How do you think that happened? Like, was it a good summer? Was it just like something just kind of clicked?
Yeah, I started doing a private coach in summer. I still trained with my high school coach, so doubling up on the coaches was really helpful. And I doubled up on my training because I didn't really care my freshman sophomore season. I kind of just like tracked better and just did track really. But I started caring more and working more for cross country.
Wow. Yeah, that really is like a huge part of just the consistency and finding a balance for you. I think that's something that I've talked to a lot of runners on recently is really understanding like what works for you and how it works. Like some are doing a bunch of cross training, some are doing high miles, low miles, but finding that balance. Do you have a favorite like course in South Carolina that you like, or even outside of the state?
Yeah, I like Newberry. I know it's like controversial, but that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's like super controversial around here. I haven't heard Newberry too much. I've actually heard a lot more of like people hating on it.
Yeah.
Um, why do you like it?
I like it because my coach, my high school coach, Coach Sands, she like does a lot of like hills during the season, so we can do hills like more fun, I guess, more easily. So like they don't like scare me that much. So the course itself is really nice, minus the hills. Like you have a lot of downhills, you have a lot of like flat surfaces. So that's like really interesting and makes it more fun for me.
Yeah, yeah, that course. I don't know where it is. It's got to be close to. It's got to be like maybe just after 2 miles. But there's that hill that kind of leads up to the road. That one is rough. I remember running that so many times with my camera. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's an interesting one. You don't like eye opener or anything?
No, it's too crowded because I'm not on the very, very front pack. So I'm like getting pushed around.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can see that. I've heard a lot of eye opener as well, and some North Carolina courses as well. Do you have a favorite workout that you like? Something that kind of makes you feel a little bit more strong, or a go-to workout that you enjoy?
Um, I don't have one for cross country, but my track one is 400 repeats. They're my favorite.
400. Yeah, no, I agree. I've kind of been saying on here lately, 400s and like mile repeats are kind of the go-to for me. I just love like clocking off splits like left and right. Um,
So like
but
getting
yeah, so you have a pretty unique team aspect as far as you have teammates. You definitely have teammates to run with. And there's some teams that are blessed with one person, two, maybe three. You have some pretty solid teammates that kind of can push you. Now, obviously, Avery may be a little bit more up there, but Jada is kind of in the same realm as you as well. Um, how does that all like help you kind of develop to be a better runner?
it helps me a lot because I can train with them in like workouts and I have like someone to pace with races. Like wherever they're at, I know I need to be up with them, or if they're behind me, they know they need to be with me. So it helps a lot during races and workouts.
Yeah, so I tend to ask this question when it comes to kind of understanding your teammates. Do you feel like you kind of know some of their strengths and their weaknesses, and you can kind of you know help them as much as they can help you in certain situations?
Oh yeah, definitely. I learn like what they like to run in and what they don't, and how to help them.
Yeah, so fifth at states individually in cross is quite the accomplishment to say the least. Um, because I know you mentioned like you didn't really take it serious the first couple of years. Was that a shocker to you to kind of be so high in the pack?
Yeah, I actually did not know I was up there. Like I knew I was like near the front of the pack, but I was just like, well, one of my teammates didn't make it through the race, so I was like, we need to get higher up to place better. So I was just trying to push forward more, and I guess it just happened to be I ended up higher ranking too.
Now, did you? So you didn't know at all? Like you weren't counting people? Like, hey, one, two, three, four, like or
I
like
had
when
my
did it kind of dawn
mom,
on you?
yeah, I had my mom counting people, and I think when I passed her last, she was like ninth, so I know I was like top 10. So like I was trying to stay top 10, but I passed like a few more people like on the the end curve.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really like think about like placement. I was thinking about like, oh, I need to pass the next girl. Like I need to do it for my team.
So kind of two questions in there. One is, so you hear like people yelling at you, like your coaches, your mom. You said your mom, you could hear her. Do you typically hear people yelling, or are you kind of like focused in a lot of time?
It depends on the person. Most of the time I hear people yelling because that's like what motivates me is people, which is also why I like Newberry because there's always people on the very first and last mile on that big hill. There's always people. But yeah, most of the time I hear like certain voices. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, of course. I've heard that before too. Of they can hear like their coach or something, or like only a certain person, like barely, maybe even whispering. It seems like, um, but no, that's interesting you say that because when my junior year, um, I had a similar experience where I was like, I think I started off. It was back in the pack. I definitely took like the first mile easy, and I started making my way through. And I remember getting to like 2 miles, and I started counting. I was like, holy crap! Like I can see the leader up here. Like it's not that far. And I started counting. I was like, yeah, 10, 11, 12. Like I'm up here, and it's cool. It's really a cool experience to kind of feel that momentum getting forward and whatnot. Um, Now, you didn't do any postseason meets in cross. Was that kind of the plan of just taking the break, or?
Well, I guess because like the first season I actually really cared about. I didn't think about off-season races, but during track I did some because I like noticed it more. And I was like, I should probably do off-season races. But I will this year.
Okay. Do you have like a preference of anything, or like obviously Foot Locker is a little bit closer than going to NXR or anything, or going back to like even running lane? I think
Yeah,
that's an yeah.
I'll probably go back to running lane because I did it for track and that was really fun. It was a good experience. And then my coach, Coach Sands, has like a lot of races she has posted for us that we might do.
Okay. Yeah. So let's get into track then a little bit, because I'm definitely curious. Again, it's it's such a jump that I think you made, and it's really cool because it just tells just through hard work you can really achieve like really great results. I want to talk about the 16 real quick, but 508 and the 16 again, like was that a shocker? Like when you were running that, did you notice like, hey, today could be a really good day?
Yeah, so actually, I was sick that day. So before the line, I was telling my parents how I was going to go on pace for the first two laps and just like not focus on the last, like just, try to finish. But I actually felt like really good in the race, which I did not expect. So it's like I was trying to hold off the pack because there's a pack behind me. I was like, I just need to hold them off.
Wow, that is interesting. 5:08 and sick. I can only imagine like the perfect conditions day. And then we talk about like 11:11 in the 2 mile. Like again, like, and I tell this all the time, or the 32, I guess you could say. Um, as soon as you break, I mean, as soon as you break 11, you're completely in different new territory. When it comes to high school running, and I would almost even say like 11:20 is when you really start kind of knocking on that door. Is that another one that was kind of just? I mean, that was that All American, and obviously that just like was a pool of talented runners. Were you? I don't want to say expecting to kind of go fast, but were you expecting to go fast that day? And did you notice it when you were in the race?
Yeah, I was definitely expecting to go. Like I had my PR was 11 like 45 I think before that. So I was expecting to go like 11:30s, but like in the race I felt really good. And I also wasn't focusing on the 32, so I didn't need to know my splits. So like I was hitting the splits and I didn't know what pace I had. And I'm really glad cuz I would have slowed down if I knew my first mile was that fast. But I was just trying to stay with like the girls with me.
Yeah, and again, kind of like looking at everything you've done because you do the 16:32. I think I saw like you randomly did like a 200 or something this year. Was that in there? Was that what was that all about? Just for fun?
Yeah, my teammate Mir, she's a graduated senior now, but we always joked about doing the 200, so we did it one Malden meet.
There you go. That's always fun. That's cool. Um, Now like choosing your event, do you prefer the mile over the 32 or because you did the mile at state, so I'm only assuming like that kind of gave you your best shot.
Yeah, I like them all like way better. Just feeling in the race, it was more exciting. Like I wasn't ever pumped up for the 32. It was more like let's get this done with.
Yeah, no, oh yeah, no. 8 laps around the track is always it can be a grueling time. Okay, so the 16 is your event. Have you thought about going like lower, or is that kind of just the sweet spot?
Yeah, I did a few 800s and I broke 220 in those, but they like I don't really know how to pace them that well. So I always started off way too slow and like in the very back.
Oh, wow, that's actually I feel like it's a better problem than most. I think most would, say they go too fast and can't hold it. So to go off too slow is almost you could perfect that one for sure. Um, I knew a girl who ran. She would run like 209 or like 210, but she would go out 50 meters ahead of everybody else and just die the last lap. So it's like, I mean, it works, right? But um, definitely a better problem to have of being too slow through the first four. So you talk about running lane. Um, that also kind of shocked me because you tripled there. That is not what most people do. Why the triple? I guess first off,
Because I wasn't really expecting to get any PRs, so I was just like doing it for the fun of it, just to try it.
no, that's cool. Yeah, that's unique, especially for like just like such a big meet. I think I saw maybe a couple people double, and like mainly people just were doing one thing, but to triple it, that's pretty cool. How was it over there? I've never done any like running lane meets, and obviously the atmosphere looked pretty hype.
Yeah, I was very, very hyped, especially for the championship races. It was like everyone was like swinging stuff and there was the fireworks. It was really interesting and fun. Running it was even better because there was so much people cheering.
Yeah, I think they had it so like spectators could be on the track. Is that correct too? Like they were in the lanes or some of them?
Yeah, they blocked off the last three lanes so spectators were on the track, yeah.
Yeah, we I went to a meet and my youngest daughter, she ran at, and they had it kind of similar like that too. And I always think like that just makes it even better when you can have meets like that and just you're so close to the track and the fans are so close to you guys. So let's talk about states then. Eighth at states for the 16. Obviously, probably not like the most ideal result you were looking for, but was it kind of? I mean, because you got to think you got to be a little realistic going into it. Like the win was probably not ideally in the cards, but maybe it was. Like, how do you feel like? everything was kind of leading up to that.
Yeah, I was really focused on my time because I was trying to qualify for, I forgot what the race was called. But I was hoping for at least top five, which is fine that I didn't get it because the way we paced it, we went out really, really slow, like a 118, and then our second lap was like a 1 like 17. So I knew like right when I hit the 800, I could not keep up with the 800 sprinters that were in the race that I was right next to. So, but I tried. It didn't end up working, but it was fine.
Yeah, no, I feel like states is always it's always an interesting one because there is so most people are there for just like tactical reasons and they just don't want to even remotely move a pace. Um, and for someone who may not think that they have a shot, ideally, of winning the whole thing, can you can honestly kind of dictate the whole race in that aspect. Um, but what were your thoughts on like the overall season as a whole? I mean, again, states eighth at states is such an accomplishment in itself.
I was really like happy with my track results because I PR'd in every event I ran, and that's like PRing's rare. So I was really excited I did in every single event.
Yeah, and again, it kind of goes back to just the amount of growth. I think that's something to super like be super proud of. Um, we talk about kind of getting ready for cross country now this next season. Are you on break right now,
I
or
just
have you
got back.
started? Okay,
It's my
so
first
you
week.
oh, okay, wow, well, how's that going?
That's hot, but it's going good so far.
What kind of miles are you doing? Are you just like three, four, 10?
I'm not sure right now. I haven't tracked my mileage. I try not to wear a watch and like focus less on the pace and the mileage and more on just getting the miles done that my coach gives me. But I know it's getting up there. I know she wants to build by the end of the season.
Yeah, no, for sure. So you are the number 25 returner in South Carolina overall in cross um overall classifications. And obviously first as a team in 5A. How is that? Do you at all look at rankings and think like this is where I'm at right now, or like at all? Do you ever look at them?
I haven't yet, but by the end of the season, I really do. But rankings, like all the time, in my opinion, don't really matter because I'm never ranked really good going to state. But like how I got fifth at state, it was like I was not ranked fifth. I was ranked like 12th. So like that's really exciting. So I just try to focus more on like myself and getting faster than the rankings.
Yeah, I think rankings can definitely they can kind of help uh tell a story. There could be so wrong on so many days, and you just never know. I mean, obviously, like I hate to bring up like bad moments, but you look at like Avery and obviously being ranked high up there and then not being able to finish the race. You wouldn't expect it because I looked at the rankings, but obviously anything can happen. I remember I ran we in Florida we have it's districts, regions, and then state, and I was like 40th at regionals my junior year, and I ended up getting 10th at state. So you just never know. You never know um, who's running, what the training's been. Some people have a great race, and I think that's what kind of keeps it exciting too. Really exciting. Anybody really has a shot any day. Do you have any expectations? First off, just individually of like kind of a time that you're looking at.
I know I want to get low 18s because I feel like I've done high mileage like going into track season and I improved a lot there and my 2 mile time improved like 30 seconds. So like I'm hoping my like 5K time will also improve too from that.
Yeah, if I mean, you can look at like so many different calculators and whatnot. And I'm sure there's like coaches. I'm sure your coaches even maybe probably talk to you about some times that are kind of realistic. But even just looking at it right now, like you're 16 and you're 32, or like you'll easily be 18, 15 and below easily just from those track times alone with the speed, which is super exciting because then obviously again you never know, maybe it's your day and you go sub 18, and which is really cool is um because I think again like you may not like know like people may not know you because of the ranking is a little it's not back but it's a little farther back, and you just have an opportunity right now to just come out swinging of like, oh my god, who is this girl? um as a team being number one, kind of heading into this next season, is that at all like again any pressure you feel like, hey, I need to contribute because this is like, if one chink is in the armor, it kind of obviously it goes away.
Yeah, I don't really feel pressure about it. I do feel like I need to like get up there more. Like in the race, I definitely do think I need to be in the front. Like that's where coach expects me to be, and I should be there. But it's not really pressure. It's more of like motivation.
No, totally. And then obviously we talked a little bit about like postseason races this next coming cross country season. So you're definitely open to doing one of those, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess to kind of wrap things up, I think the biggest thing again for you and like as a team is just the consistency, and like you've proven to be really consistent over this past season. And um I would say just such a like a dark horse coming into the season. I think people are they're gonna look back at this podcast interview and be like, oh my god, like this is crazy. Like here she was back at the beginning of the year, already kind of saying it and whatnot. Overall, when you look back at it just from freshman year running to now senior year running, um, has it gone by fast? Do you think it's everything you kind of wanted it to be? And just kind of lastly, going into your senior year, what are you kind of expecting it to turn into?
Yeah, it's definitely gone by really fast. Like I remember when I was a freshman, the cliche saying, but I'm expecting just a fun year, having fun with my teammates for one more year because I've been with them for a while now.
No, that's a great way to end it. And like I said, definitely am looking forward to kind of like seeing what you have planned out. Would love to kind of reconnect with you when we get towards the beginning of the year and just see how summer training's been, and obviously throughout the season. Definitely would love to have you back on and see. I'm expecting great results. I know your coach is expecting great results. No pressure at all, but just super excited to see how everything turns out. Thank you for coming on, and hopefully again share the video, subscribe to the channel, and all that jazz, and just kind of help me grow this thing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.